The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. It is 2 minutes past 4 o'clock, time for the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM. My name is Loyd Kirby. I'm the marketing manager here, and it is the first Tuesday of the month, which means all rise. We have the Honorable Tracy Welch with us, the Mayor of Lincoln. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Mayor.
Glad to be here.
All righty then. So, boy, you got in here and you were like, a model of efficiency. You got this, and this going on. So usually the fall is sort of the time things start winding down. But based on the list of things you gave me, it looks like there's actually quite a bit going on still. Yep. So do you want to go in chronological order, or actually let's go with something that just happened, and then that'll lead into something going to happen. The city had the movie night with the movie If. Within the past week or two.
It was last week.
Yeah. So how did that go? I mean, the weather was kind of spotty. I think maybe that probably held some people away, but
it was actually a pretty good turnout on the event. I think we probably had 65 plus people there. The DARE program came out, cooked hot dogs and chips and sodas for those who wanted them. They were free. There was also some food trucks there that offered some shaved ice, and then there was some barbecue and stuff there. So overall, we had one little snafu with the generator, but overall, it was a successful event.
Yeah, and of course, anytime you have an outdoor event, the weather is always sort of the unknown factor, and if you do it again, hopefully the weather will cooperate a bit more, where it won't be so maybe it's going to rain, maybe it's not going to rain.
Well, that's the plan.
Oh, the plan. Is there something coming up?
Yeah, and also I want to mention on the last one, the Park District. Becky Strait at the Park District helped us out a lot. We couldn't have done it without them, so thank you to them. But we are planning another movie night on the 18th at 6 p.m. up at the 8th Street lot. And a lot of people asked, where is the 8th Street Park? It is on 8th Street where the hospital used to stand before it moved out to the other side of town. So we're going to do another movie night, and we're going to play Hocus Pocus.
Okay. And that's, you said, the 6 p.m. on the 18th?
Yep.
And generally the same arrangements as far as no admission charge?
All free.
All free. Yep. I mean, food vendors will be there.
Well, I don't know if we're going to have food vendors this time.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know if we're going to have the DARE truck there, because we had enough stuff left over from the first one.
Oh, okay.
That we're going to try to use the chips and the drinks and things that we had before. But if somebody wants to bring food of their own, then they're more than welcome to do that. Just no alcoholic beverages at the event, but anything else, feel free to bring.
Okay. And same thing with like seating and blankets. People are encouraged to bring their own, because it's just sort of an open grass lot, isn't it?
It's right there on the corner at the front of the lot, and people brought lawn chairs. Some people brought blankets and laid on the ground, but bring whatever you feel is best and comfortable, and come out and enjoy the movie.
Except for alcohol.
Except for alcohol.
Yeah, so
you can do that afterwards.
There you go. So again, that is happening on the 18th, and then a few other events, family oriented. You mentioned this isn't a city event, but one that sort of an arm of the city, I guess you could say, is participating in the Touch a Truck event with the fire department.
Yeah. Tammy Bunner came to the city council, and her and Heather Martin had an interest in creating a Touch a Truck event. And based on what I've read so far, I think they have like 17 vehicles.
Oh, wow.
They've got a lot of people interested that are going to come out. It's going to go from like 9 to noon. And it sounds like they've done a very good job of making this a pretty big community-oriented event.
Wow.
So I'm kind of anxious to see how that turns out. But it's on the 12th from 9 to 1.
Okay. And where does that
Scully Park
take place? Scully Park.
Scully Park.
So it's Touch a Truck, but it's actually multiple, not just trucks, but vehicles, emergency service types of vehicles, I'm guessing.
Sounds like they're going to have a wide variety of vehicles.
Okay.
So, bring your kids out. I thought I read that maybe the schools were going to be invited to come out too, and things of that nature. So
very cool.
Come out and enjoy the event.
Yeah. So if you got a potential little firefighter or police officer or whatever it might be a chance for them to see the equipment. And
somebody who wants to, run excavating equipment or end loaders or things like that.
Oh, okay. So it's not just like municipal type personnel, like fire trucks, police
not just
cars.
Police and fire. I think it's going to be a wide variety of things.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'd seen it before with like rescue squads and things like that. But this sounds Yeah, sounds like a wide
They have an
variety.
event out on Facebook. If you want to learn more about
okay.
it, you can go find the event on Facebook.
Okay. All right. So we talked about movie night. We talked about Touch a Truck. It is October. That means it's Halloween season. So
It is.
annual event coming up. It was Willy Wonka made an appearance last year, or was it?
Yeah, I think it was Willy Wonka last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And then the year before was, your wife was
Either Ghostbuster
Nope.
or no.
I think your wife was Princess Peach, maybe, and
Donkey
you were
Kong.
Donkey Kong, that's right.
And then we did Ghostbusters the year
Okay.
before, I think.
So,
yep, Mayor Trick or Treat with the Mayor. We're doing that on 10/26 at Saturday at 10 a.m. and we usually do it the Saturday prior to Halloween.
Okay.
And so, yeah, come on out, come downtown. There will be a lot of participating businesses. There usually are, and meet up at Latham Park. We usually hand out a goodie bag and a map of the stores and the retailers that are participating, and then send you on your way.
Okay, so that is, you said the 26th starts at 10 a.m.
Yep.
Sort of start it at the park there, Latham Park, and then disperse.
Yeah,
from
it
there.
used to be this kind of like the Pied Piper where
Right.
everybody just followed, and then it became a logistical nightmare with blocking roads off and things of that, and kids crossing. And so we just decided that, and we did this a few years ago, that it would be best if you just came and, I'd love to meet everybody that comes out. I try to introduce myself to everybody. And then usually my wife's there and our administrative assistant, Ashley Metelko. But then once you get a goodie bag from us, just go wherever you feel throughout the downtown, and
Right.
everything just kind of flows naturally.
And plus, if you have people who maybe aren't there right at 10 and getting a little behind, that I could see if you got one big line, that might be a little bit of an issue. So, let's see. So that is 3. What was fourth opportunity or fourth option for activities is folks can spend time with you.
Yep, Coffee with the Mayor. It's coming up again. That'll be on October 19th at 9 a.m., and we'll do it at Guest House again. That's where we usually do that. So the department head and council member have yet to be picked for that one,
Okay.
but I usually bring one of each so that if people have questions, they can certainly ask those questions.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of see where we go with that.
All right, sounds good. So for those of you tuning in late, let's see, the 12th is the Touch a Truck event. That's from 9 a.m. to noon at Scully Park, followed by the next big event is the 18th, the showing of the movie at the 8th Street Park. And then the 19th, Coffee with the Mayor, 9 a.m. at Guest House. And then finally, Trick or Treat with the Mayor kicks off at 10 a.m. on the 26th, kicks off from Latham Park and winds around through the downtown businesses.
Yep.
So plenty to do for those in the area this month. We'll go ahead and take our first break since we're at 10 after. If you have questions of Mayor Welch, feel free to give us a call, 217-648-5510, or you can send us an email, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com, and submit your questions that way. But we will be back in 2 minutes with Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM. Our guest is Mayor Tracy Welch. He is, as I mentioned, the mayor of Lincoln. If you have questions, comments, issues you'd like to bring to his attention here on the show, 217-648-5510. We talked about some of the upcoming activities later on in October that the city is involved with or knows about, I guess, in as far as Touch a Truck. But one thing you mentioned was the movie at the 8th Street Park. I guess there have been discussions, I mean, not necessarily of a formal nature, but folks have been talking about what if we put a pavilion of some kind at the 8th Street Park. So can you kind of give us sort of an overview of what that entails?
Yeah, it really started out with trying to continue to enhance the 8th Street lot. We've got the dog park, we've got a fitness court over there, and so we thought that it might be nice if we had a pavilion located on there where we could do things such as movie night, or there could be theater in the park, or a small acoustic band could come play. I don't know about rock bands playing. It's in a residential area, and we'd have to be conscious about times and things like that. But that's really what drove it. And then we talked at council this week about really the request stemmed from the fact that our administrative assistant, in order to get grants and things like that and for her to apply for those, some projects have to be engineered and ready to be eligible. And so she came to the council asking for funding to do the engineering. That led into another conversation about, do we want a pavilion or do we want a portable trailer or a stage that's a trailer? I think there's some council members that are interested in that because it could be multi-purposed. Right. And so that's really where we led with that conversation.
Okay. And so it's not like it's been decided and it's imminent or anything like that, or funds have been allocated or anything like that. It's just very much a preliminary discussion at this point, is classifying.
We've been working on it for a little while to get it ready, mostly the administrative assistant, Ashley Matelko, and we just decided now is the time to take it to council, let them start talking about it. I don't know where this conversation will go. I still think a pavilion's a good idea for that area, but the council will ultimately decide.
Right, and there's, like you said, there's lots to consider in terms of not just the facility structure, but also, you know, if you have a pavilion, does it have a sound system? How do you keep that, you know, safe from the elements or thievery or whatever it might be? What happens, I mean, if you set up this pavilion, you know, people being what they are, unfortunately, is it going to be subject to, you know, vandalism or people, you know, doing inappropriate things there?
I think everything's subject to vandalism. I mean,
that's true.
We redid the parks. We put a few $100,000 into the parks, and there was one park that within the first week had graffiti sprayed in it.
I saw that.
But then again, we've also had pavilions built through like the LTEC program. I think there's one down in Postville. There's one at the mill. To the best of my knowledge, those have not been vandalized. But, you know, the other important factor to consider is for this pavilion project, we have to make sure that we're being fiscally responsible too. That's probably a couple $100,000 project. Right. We think we can do it with grant funds, and that's really the ask is, if we can do it with grant funds, can we move forward? So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. And as you mentioned to me off air, I don't think we mentioned it here, obviously another big consideration is the fact that it is 8th Street sort of smack dab in the middle of maybe not town, but certainly a residential area, which is going to have an impact on, you know, like you said, large or loud rock and roll bands versus maybe an acoustic duo or something like that.
Yep.
So things for folks like you to take into consideration. So while we're talking about potential improvements, let's talk about actual improvements. You mentioned to me that some refurbishments going on at City Hall and sprucing things up there a bit.
Yeah, we put a lot of effort into make sure that building is maintained, and it is done so in a way that will serve the community for decades to come. One of the things that is on the list to get done, it's not really something you see from the outside, but it is the painting and the flooring on the inside. That decor has been the same as far as I can remember. And so Miss Bateman got everything ready, got bids, took that to the council. They're in support of that, it seems, and that is to give the walls a fresh coat of paint. Let's get some new flooring in there where appropriate, and get the inside ready for decades to come.
Sure. And you'd mentioned in previous visits here that things have been going on the outside, the roofing. I believe you said windows were put in, but there was attention to detail as far as being architecturally accurate or looking like they belong there. It wasn't just some space age window on a historic building or something. So I'm guessing similar type of thought is going into this as far as I don't know if there's certain colors that are appropriate that are more architecturally accurate from the period than maybe a neon pink or something on a wall.
Well,
here.
It's funny you bring that up. We have a historic preservation commission, and they focus a lot on the downtown, but they were brought in to provide some recommendations on the color schemes and things of that nature for this particular upgrade. They help with the previous outside improvements because that building sits on the the historic register,
right,
as far as it being a historic building, and so we want to make sure that everything we did preserved the characteristics of that building.
Sure. Okay. And again, that's just sort of a project that it's not definite. It's going to be done by X date or anything like that. We're just sort of working along as work can take place on it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a matter of making sure that the supplies get ordered that need to. Obviously, we're going to be subject to availability of the products, right, so our timeline will be dictated by that.
Okay. And another improvement to kind of a structure, a cyber structure. You mentioned there are things happening with the city website as well.
Yeah, our city website is old, and it still functions, and it still serves those that use it, but there are new modern technologies that make those websites more friendly. And so we did recently go out and we got bids for getting an upgrade done to the city website. We stayed with a local company called Print Digital. And so Cale West and his group came in, spoke to the council, gave a demonstration. I think the council's interested. It seems to be that way. And hopefully if the council will approve that in the coming week, then we can move forward and start to overhaul our city website too.
Okay, very cool. So once again, Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch is our guest. 217-648-5510, the number to call if you have questions or comments of Mayor Welch. And we'll be back in 2 more minutes with more from Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch.
An accident or injury can happen any day. If you're living without health insurance, now is the time to find a health insurance plan to protect you and your family. New, low-cost plans cover doctor's visits, hospital stays, prescriptions, preventative care, and more. And you could get a tax credit to help you afford insurance. So call me, Dara Entwistle, 217-737-7581 to help you find a plan that's right for you.
Hello, Lincoln and Logan County. This is Chris Grau from Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln. When it comes time to choose someone to repair your car, truck, or SUV, Don't you think you'd feel more comfortable working with the local people you know and trust? Our team in Service, Parts, and Detail have the tools, training, and knowledge that will get your repairs done quickly with less downtime and at the right price. Call the local pros at 217-735-4444 at Grouse Chevrolet Buick on North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln.
Hi, Joe Ryan here with Country Financial. As pensions go by the wayside and your retirement approaches, have you thought about what your retirement income will look like? No, I'm not talking about how much money you have saved. I am talking about a retirement income, a guaranteed paycheck for life. That's right, a paycheck issued to you every month for the rest of your life. Sound interesting? Let's talk. 735-4385.
And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 here with Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Once again, run until 4:30 here, so you got about 7 minutes. If you have questions or comments for Mayor Welch, 217-648-5510. We were talking about some of the projects, some of the upgrades, I guess you could say, for city facilities, the city hall, as well as the website. Something we've talked about in the past is the new mural that's going to go close to I guess it is technically the downtown area, and I guess there's some progress to report on that as well.
Yeah, the mural was a project that the council approved a while back, and it was painted. I think Scott Lindy is his name. Okay. But Scott came to the council. He's done murals before, and the mural's painted, and it's on panels. But the issue we ran into was we're going to put it on the side of the Rio Grande building. Mm-hmm. We have an agreement with them. But when we went to mount it, we realized that the wall might not be in as good a shape as we thought. Oh. And so we had to take a pause. And instead of mounting it directly on the wall, a metal frame is being fabricated to mount that mural to. So the footings are poured. The frame is being designed and erected, so hopefully that goes up soon.
Okay, and so that is the side of the Rio Grande, so it would face north, I'm guessing?
It'll face north. It's the Welcome Park.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And again, that's sort of in process, so there's not like a opening day or grand opening date reveal kind of thing at this point yet.
We'll announce that whenever we do, but myself and I know Mr. Woodhall, we're pushing to get that done, but you can only move as fast as the fabricators can move. So
sure,
yeah,
and we're in that time where the weather starts to get iffy as well. So another issue, unfortunately, which I guess has gotten onto your radar, is the sort of the aftermath of the big fire downtown, and some impact to the structures and adjacent structures, and just sort of the traffic flow, I guess, in that area. How have you had to deal with that? I mean, what sorts of issues have come up for you as mayor? You know,
ideally, we'd like to see those roads open back up. However, that building is not safe. Mm-hmm. Most people probably know that the front facade facing Sangamon fell into the street. Right. So we don't know exactly what might happen with the Pulaski Street side. Mm-hmm. And so we've kept it closed off. Mr. Woodhall's working with the appropriate parties to gain a better understanding of how to move forward with that. So I wish I had more details that we could share on that, but it is a priority, but we want to do it in a safe manner.
Sure. And there's, I think I watched the video from I think it was the committee of the whole meeting. It's not just a matter that the city can come in and say, okay, we're going to take this down or whatever. There's ownership, there's insurance claims, there's, I'm assuming fire investigations, in terms of how the fire started or different things like that there's a lot going on sort of below the surface rather than just the structure and what can be done with it just immediately. So all in good time, I guess. Let's see. So that's the fallout from the fire. Another thing happening you mentioned is the road resurfacing, or maybe not happening, but it's going on in some degree right now.
So They came to the committee of the whole, the engineers did, and they shared with the council the cost of the projects and what it'll cost to get road resurfacing targets done. And so we had a really good discussion about it. There are council members, and I support them and agree with them that we'd like to get these targets done, at least identified and funded earlier. As some council members had made mention, once you start getting into the fall months, it becomes more difficult to do those type of projects.
Sure.
We think we're going to get some done in the fall. It is possible that we'll get some done in the spring as a result of this work, but the engineers will work with Mr. Landers and the council on that, and we'll do what we feel is the most appropriate.
And we've talked about that process before of road resurfacing. It's not just a matter of, individual opinion of, I want this done or I want that done in terms of elected officials or whoever it might be, and you aren't throwing darts at a dartboard and saying,
Right.
Okay, we're going to do this one. There's actually a process that goes in and sort of assigns a need, I guess you could say, or how critical updates are.
Yeah, so there's thought that goes into that based on the roads, the conditions of the roads, how heavily they're traveled, but also funding. Because we do fund those roads with taxpayer dollars, and those dollars only go so far. So we try to get as many done as we can. Sometimes we're lucky, and the bids come in under what we've budgeted, and we can get a little bit more done. But I think we do a pretty good job of getting those targets identified and funded.
Right.
So,
and it's, as you mentioned before, it is a definite process. It's not just matters of opinion. I mean, there's actually data you use to sort of drive those decisions, or at least influence them. Let's see. I guess the only thing I have on the list here that we haven't really talked about that you had mentioned was the CEO program and
Right.
The involvement of the city, or I don't know if involvement's the right word, but you interact with those folks and sort of promote them as well. So
yeah, the city of Lincoln has supported this CEO program. It's an entrepreneurship program is what
Right.
it is. And they have mentors that dedicate their time to teaching young high school students about the importance of business and how to launch your own business and be successful. And so they spend quite a bit of time throughout the school year with these kids, and they do a wonderful job. I am fortunate enough to get to talk with them about the government related aspects of owning a business and how government can impact your business as well. So we're talking about it, looking at another 3-year funding agreement. It's $1,000 a year, and it goes back towards helping students from Lincoln and Logan County and surrounding. So I think it's a good program, and I hope that the council will continue to fund that.
sure. And they, as you mentioned, is not just Lincoln; it is Logan County. I know we had them on the Cheap Seats show on Saturday morning a couple times, and there were some Hartsburg-Edmond students, I believe, as well as Lincoln.
Yeah, I think we've had some from Olympia in the past,
Okay.
Pulaski. So, yeah, they have a pretty good outreach.
Right,
But-
right.
Yeah, so it's a good program.
And they also have the event, I think it's in the spring usually, it was sort of it's not really a vendor fair, but sort of an open house kind of thing where they each have a booth and information about their businesses and kind of
Yeah.
give a sales pitch or an elevator pitch of some kind. So, a lot of good skills to learn in there. So
It is.
let's see real quick. We're at 4:30. Just to go back in for those who maybe weren't with us at the beginning of the hour, some upcoming events. October 12th is the Touch a Truck event, which is, again, I mistakenly thought it was just fire trucks, but it's excavation, or potentially
It's
a
a little bit of
wide
everything.
variety of different vehicles and machinery there. That is on the 12th at Scully Park at 9 a.m. Then the 18th, another movie night, free movie, which will be Hocus Pocus,
Hocus
you said?
Pocus.
That's at 6 p.m. at the 8th Street Park. Free admission again. Then the 19th, Coffee with the Mayor downtown at Guest House with Mayor Tracy Welch and a couple to-be-determined guests. That's at 9 a.m. on the 19th at Guest House. And then on the 26th, the Trick or Treat with the Mayor, 10 a.m. starts at Latham Park, where you'll distribute the maps and
Candy,
bags. And you'll be there in Can folks write in if they have costume ideas
Sure.
for you? Or?
I think we're going with superheroes this year,
okay.
but I got this really cool Iron Man mask, and
all right.
I'm going to try to make that work, but we'll see.
Well, all right. Well, we'll look forward to that. So once again, if folks have concerns or issues they'd like to bring up to you, can't make the coffee with the mayor. I know you've got your information out there, but for folks who may not run in the same social media circles as you, how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, really the best way is to go to the city website. There's a way that you can email the mayor. There's my office number is on there. City cell phone number is on there. So, yep, I would say reach out using those methods, and we can connect. I've got a system where you can book time with me as well, and so all equally effective.
All right, very good. So Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you in 4 weeks, I guess, 5 weeks.
Yep.
It's a long month, I guess. So either way, we'll talk to you next month, and be sure to tune in for Viewpoint tomorrow morning when Dara Entwistle will have guests. That begins at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, runs till 8:30. We are to be determined on who our guest will be next week, so I won't announce that for the 4 p.m. 411. But for this week, thanks to Mayor Tracy Welch, I am Loyd Kirby, and we will talk to you next time. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.